That's with the voting finger.
As the curtains draw near for the island's next general
Very
election,
confident.
the atmosphere is rife with speculation on the future of the candidacy for the Vieux Fort South seat. Will former Prime Minister and current Parliamentary Representative Dr. Kenny D. Anthony step down from the role, and who will take up the mantle? But before that, one of Dr. Anthony's former cabinet minister, Dr. Jimmy Fletcher, spoke to the legacy Dr. Anthony leaves behind and the man he was beyond the political arena. Fletcher describes Dr. Anthony as a highly intelligent and eloquent man, reserved yet charming, and at the core understood his identity as a St. Lucian.
100% St. Lucian.
I would only need to brief Dr. Anthony for 2 minutes. Say, Chief, this is what we're dealing with. These are the issues. These are what these guys' priorities are. This is what we want from them. And he would speak eloquently and articulately and with substance on off the top of his head for 10, 15 minutes, and you say, wow, you just sit back there. I had to catch myself from prevent my jaw from dropping open, that this man really understood it. And Kenny Anthony, you could put him in any situation, in any environment, and he will be at ease. It could be in a rum shop, in Touge. It could be in delivering a lecture to a group at South Louis Community College, or speaking to the World Bank in one of their World Bank meetings, and he will be just as efficient, just as effective.
Fletcher, filled with praise for Dr. Anthony, did, however, have one criticism of his former leader, paying greater attention to constitutional reform in his first 2 terms, as he was the perfect man for the job.
The people have given you the mandate to change, and I believe, particularly given that Dr. Anthony is a constitutional lawyer. Dr. Anthony, if anybody there was nobody better placed to lead constitutional reform in St. Lucia than Dr. Anthony. I think my one criticism is that he did not make that a priority, particularly his first 2 terms. Now, granted, he had a lot of things dealing with. He had to deal with the demise of the banana industry. He had to deal with trying to reshape the economy. But I think we can walk and chew gum at the same time. And I think we didn't do that. I think really that is a missed opportunity. So we now have a constitution that I believe is not suited for the times in which we find ourselves.
Drawing comparison between former Prime Minister Dr. Anthony and Barbados's Prime Minister Mia Mottley, Fletcher says Kenny Anthony, during his tenure, served as that pillar to St. Lucia.
I see people quite rightly making a big fuss about Prime Minister Mia Mottley. I say to myself, we had that same thing in St. Lucia with Dr. Kenny Anthony. Mia's intellect is Kenny's intellect. Mia's charm is the same charm Kenny had. And I think the one thing Kenny did not do enough was use his charm, because he seemed to not like going out and interacting with people as much as you would have thought, which was strange, because he immediately will charm you, and if you're somebody who does not like him, he will disarm you, because he's that type of person. He's very warm, he makes jokes, he's very grounded, he understands St. Lucian culture, he understands what it is to be a St. Lucian.
For Choice News Now, I am Chelsea Austin.